Fenech on the Fox, wrapping up the workforce. It's time to go home.
Hey, this is Rich Robinson from the Magpie Salute and the Black Crows. It's 5 o'clock and it's time to go home.
WRSR Owasso, Flint's classic rock authority. Get up and party! Put your work away and kiss your boss goodbye. Time to punch out with an attitude.
This calls for a sexy party.
Jeremy Fenech, the Punch Out Party on 103.9 The Fox.
Flint's Classic Rock Authority, 103.9 The Fox. Scorpions rocking you like a hurricane as we get into a world-famous Fox Rock weekend. And let's get right into it. My special guest of the Magpie Salute, formerly of the Black Crows, Rich Robinson on the line. How are you, Rich?
Pretty good. How are you, man?
I'm doing fantastic. The new album, High Water, the full-length debut. It's available on CD, but it's also a double LP. How cool is that, that you're on vinyl?
It's always the best, you know.
Sounds a lot better that way.
No matter how you count it, it's just really cool. You get that big piece of artwork and hold that thing in your hand. It's great.
Just dropped this past Friday, of course, and I got to tell you, that brand new single, I'm digging it. It's got a very, very smooth sound. Send Me an Omen. And this, of course, the Magpie Salute, it's really full-on combination of your entire career all coming together. What's that like for you to be dealing with all these great people that you've been working with throughout your life?
It's really cool. I mean, sometimes it's a little surreal, you know, kind of seeing all these people in different contexts meshed together, but it's also great, you know.
Absolutely. And, of course, you've got the critically acclaimed live debut release, which was recorded in front of a small audience. How small was that audience that you recorded with in Woodstock?
There was 100 people there. It's basically, we were in the studio, and people were sitting in the live room, and it was jam-packed. I mean, that's all we could fit.
That's awesome. I got to tell you, I had the privilege of seeing you with the Black Crows in Evansville, Indiana, back at the Victory Theater in the late 90s.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, one of those smaller venues, it's much more intimate than a huge arena show.
Yeah.
You know, what is your take on that? I mean, do you have a preference, or is it you love it, just it's different?
I like it. It's just different. You know, everything's, you know, you can have great stadium shows. You can have great club shows. You can have great arena shows. It just really depends on the energy of the crowd and how the band and crowd work together. I mean, it's really a symbiotic relationship. You know?
Very cool. Now, the Magpie Salute itself, a very interesting reference to a British superstition.
Yeah, absolutely. People who see the magpie, I think it stems from World War I. And people over there who see magpies, they salute to ward off a bad day. And the way that they salute the magpie is by saying, "Good morning, Captain," which is a Black Crows song, which I thought was kind of cool. And so I just stuck with it.
Now, on the live album, there was only one cut, omission, that was the only studio recording in that package. What was that like? Was that when you finally had an idea of what you were dealing with the Magpie Salute?
Well, you know, we had this live record that we had recorded, and that was basically a studio capture of the first time we had all played together. And so we thought it was really cool. And John and I had been in a band before called Hookah Brown. And that was a song that John and I had written, but we never released or did anything with it. So we thought, oh, this would be kind of cool. Let's just do it, you know. So we knocked it out, yeah.
Little bit of everything. That is fantastic. And now, let me ask you this. When you guys started working on this new album, High Water, Send Me an Omen. Literally, I put this thing on, and it just put you in a good mood. I mean, it's just... It all comes together. The chemistry is there. It seems to work on all levels. Is this one of those things that you had that feeling while you were making it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just getting in that studio, we recorded 2 albums, High Water 1 and 2, 29 songs in 21 days. And we had such a plethora of music and creation that was happening because we're all in a good space, you know.
That's excellent. Now let's talk about Mark Ford for just a minute. He says this is probably the best band he's ever been in, and as a player, it challenges him. Does it challenge you?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think we all want to push ourselves as players and songwriters in a band, and, you know, what I always think is cool is how everyone can sort of, in such a very agile way, jump between doing a Bobby Hutcherson song and a Humble Pie song, you know what I mean? And like, you know, and a Dylan song but then play our own stuff. And I mean, we went out last year, we played 226 songs in the end. And just to be able to cover all that ground, but then to bring all that to this band is amazing. You know,
we've just scratched the surface. My guest today from the Magpie Salute, formerly of the Black Rose, Rich Robinson on the line. Stand by, Rich, if you don't mind. We've got more to talk about coming up.
All right.
And we're going to play some Black Crowes next on 103.9 The Fox.
Cool. Sounds good.
On the air, everywhere.
Flint's Classic Rock Authority, 103.9 The Fox. There you have it. Twice as hard. That is the Black Crowes. And my guest today, Rich Robinson, formerly of the Black Crowes, currently with the Magpie Salute. And again, you've got a lot of the gang together from the Black Crowes involved in the Magpie Salute, as well as your solo effort. Everything that you've done kind of coming together. Now, we were talking, though, about your relationship with Mark Ford. Again, one of his great quotes here, it's better when we're together than when we're not. So how does it feel working with Ford again?
Oh, it's great. You know, Mark and I always had this musical relationship, but we didn't really get to know one another very well in the Crowes because of the dynamic with that band. And so to be able to get to know each other and also have that other half of our relationship has been really cool. And I think it's helped the musical element.
Magpie Salute, first taking flight in 2016, so you're 2 years into this right now. And when you originally put this together, it was a 10-piece incarnation. Now you're down to 6. What's the difference? How do they feel as a 10 versus a 6?
Well, as we started last year, or, you know, like the first shows were up for sale in January of 2017. And basically, I just took a template of those first shows we did in Woodstock. And basically, it was my solo band. Mark and Ed came into the band. And then we added a couple of singers, and it was this thing. And I thought, well, let's just use that as a template and take this whole review out on tour. And it was it was a review, and it was more a celebration of the music we had made together as a group and individually, you know. And so we toured all last year with that in mind. But as we started focusing on becoming a band and making our own music, you know, we wanted to make space for everyone and really focus. And it's easier to focus with a 6-piece band than it is with a 10-piece band.
Now, let me ask you this. When you're writing a song, do you write the lyrics, the music, a little bit of both? Are you thinking about all 6 parts at the same time? How does that process work when it goes through your head?
So on the record, on the first record, there's 2 or 3 songs or 4 songs that I wrote the whole thing. And then some songs I wrote the music and let John write the lyrics. Some songs Mark Ford wrote everything. Some songs Mark and John wrote some. So it's just kind of all over the place, you know?
Right.
But when I write the music, I pretty much finish the whole thing. And that is the catalyst for me and John, really, to write lyrics. You know, like, to me, if I bring the song to almost finished, and then I listen to it and sort of tap into it and see what it pulls from me, you know, and I let that dictate what the lyrical content's going to be.
That is amazing. So the music really dictates to you. Huh. Very cool. It's just really neat to hear how that works. Now, at the same time, collaborating with somebody, that's got to be, like I said, dealing with you know, your co-bandmates from the Black Crowes, your solo tour. I mean, everything literally coming together. When you say let's get the band back together, you're talking about the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So everyone brings something unique to the table. And that chemistry, like I said, I could hear it in that track, and I'm just looking forward to listening to the whole thing. Now, for you, as a musician, what is your favorite part? Is it that creative part, sitting there and coming up with a brand new song, or is it getting out on the road touring and, you know, meeting up with the fans?
To me, it's kind of both. I mean, the record is more of a springboard for the rest of it. You know, it's like it's the birth of a song. And then you take the song around the track and you see where it goes, you know. So
when you're on the road, do you prefer flying? Do you prefer bus?
Bus is kind of our home. We're really used to it after this amount of time.
Gotcha.
And just, you know, you get on there and you relax and roll down the road.
Now, is there a certain restaurant or something? I know that when I go to Florida, I can't wait to see, you know, some restaurants that they don't have necessarily up here in Michigan. Is there any food that you really look forward to when you know you're going to be on tour in a certain location?
I don't know. I mean, there's some cool places everywhere. You know, you can really find cool places everywhere now. So you know, Mainly, most of our focus now is coffee, but
So Seattle, we're coming for you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I have a silly little game if you would be interested in playing.
Well, let's see what it is first.
Okay, I'll tell you in just a few minutes. First things first, Andre Peters out with the United States Marines. We're going to talk to him in a moment. 40 minutes of nonstop Fox Rock. That's coming up next on 103.9 The Fox.
Cool.
At Discover.
Back to the bricks, downtown Flint with 103.9 The Fox.
Thank you, AP. And as promised, Rich Robinson, it's time to play one of my stupid games.
What time is it? 4:20.
Do you think that smoking drugs is cool?
It's Just Bob's 420 contest.
All right, it's called Just Bob's 420 contest. I'm going to have you name 4 things in 20 seconds. And if you do that, I'm going to give you a copy of your album. How about that? I'll give you the vinyl because I know that the vinyl sounds better. So, and being that we got the Magpie salute, the Black Crows, in 20 seconds, I need you to name 4 types of birds. Go!
A crow, a magpie, a woodpecker, and a sparrow.
You're a winner! Congratulations, man. Now, I got to tell you, it's an honor to talk to you. Thank you so much. And I wish you guys nothing but the best on your tour.
Thank you so much, man. We'll see you soon.
Johnny Burke in the morning. Classic rock all day.